Good afternoon. We are back with the fan reaction. I haven't got the right banners on at the moment. I will put those on. We won 3-2. What a result. Diop doing
Massive.
Diop doing the skank at the 1-2 step in the middle of the dance floor. Flappy Ankski playing hot potato, not wanting to catch the ball. And then Joe Willock coming on and smashing one in the roof of the net to take it to 3-2. I think we could argue that we're almost safe now, but we'll get everyone's reaction, and we'll go from there. Brandon, how are you feeling about the game, mate?
Massive, man. I felt quite worried when West Ham equalized, but Joe Willock, man, I love him.
Yeah,
he important again for us again. Don't understand why he's not starting. You can make a case that Sean Longstaff is having a good run of games, or better, at least playing better than he used to do before. So I kind of understand, but come on, how can you not play Willock anymore now?
True. It just seems like he's a super sub at the moment. I don't really want to change it, but I do agree. Like it baffles me that he doesn't start. I think everyone will give their opinion, but John Joe didn't have his greatest game again. So you'd argue that
True.
Willock could be a straight swap for him. Should we get some guests in?
Yeah, Carl, a real quick question though. Is it me lagging or is it you?
I don't know if it's me. I don't think it's me. I can't hear any lagging.
Okay, then it must be me, I think. Then it must be me. Anyways, I hope my internet will rumble.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Let's bring in Proudlock and Harry.
How you doing?
How you doing, lads?
All right.
Oh,
very delighted with that.
Nice talk. Yeah.
It's a great result, wasn't it? Great result.
Definitely, but nervy as well.
I know. I don't think my heart can take anymore, mate. Like, I really don't. It's just emotions are through the roof. So, yeah. Brandon, I'll hand it over to yourself, mate. What we got?
Yeah. That's because we obviously it looks like we played on the counter-attack, sort of. Do you guys agree with the tactics of Steve Bruce that he's playing some counter-attack tactic against a team like West Ham, who look very decent this year? Harry?
Yeah. Well, first half we nailed it. I'm not gonna lie. First half I was buzzing because we looked like we were playing really well. I know we didn't have too many good chances, and what we did, we got a bit lucky. But the sentiment and the look of the team was good. Second half was stressful. I don't know how we came out with a win after that, but why are we dropping off against 10 men?
Good question. I think it's fair to say though, if that wouldn't if you wouldn't go off with a red card, we would have a totally different game, and I'm not sure if we would have been winning then. We got a silly penalty against us though, but clear foul by Clark. But what do you think, Peter?
It's handball. I think it is handball. He has got to put his arm high, and I think the Kevin Fred's had no choice but to give a penalty. After looking at the VAR screen, so yeah, I can't argue with that. But it's the one we'll let them come back. I mean, it's quite defended.
Yeah, I totally agree. He could have done better there. As well, what did you guys make from Wilson not to start? Were you happy with that, or would you do the same?
I can understand it in a way in case he is not 100% fully fit. But you could be looking at maybe next game against Liverpool.
Yeah. I think if we take one more point, that should be fine. So we can say we are staying up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not for certain, because as you've seen today, anything's possible with this club. But we should be safe.
Yeah.
And Willock, of course, coming from the bench. How much of an impact did he make on the game for you guys?
Oh, massive impact. He should have started for me.
For who?
The one will need to be taken out there, Shelby. I mean, again, he's giving silly balls away, and just some of these passes they don't make sense half the time. Yeah, what he does, and he's definitely not a captain and a leader of this football club.
No, I don't understand the captain role as well. Harry?
Yeah, well, yeah. For me as well, what sums it up is him getting booked for a pointless foul in the middle of the pitch where they're going nowhere. He just takes the man out for no reason, and like he's not a good symbol for the club, really. Like it just baffles me. Just baffles me. But at the same time, there's no natural replacement in that holding role. So it would have to change it up a little bit or drop Strong's a bit deeper. But yeah, I don't want to see much more from him, shall we?
I'll come to you, mate. Did you believe you could still win this game after the 2-2 equalizer?
Nah, I thought it was going to go the other way. I'm not going to lie. I won't lie. I genuinely thought that the way it had gone, I thought West Ham are going to nick a goal here and it's just going to unravel and it's going to ruin the rest of my weekend. But no, like we had that opportunity with Miggy immediately after, and then obviously Joe Willock's come in with a header. Yeah, so fantastic. I wasn't expecting it, but I'm really good. I'm really, really happy with how the lads responded, to be fair.
Yeah. Last, for you guys, how confident did you guys feel after that equalizer?
Not at all. I thought the game
definitely not. I mean, I'm thinking, yeah, we're going throw it away completely, but I think Will again. I thought Richie's cross was brilliant into the box. Willock was right place, right time.
Harry, did you feel comfortable with?
No, absolutely not. I thought the game was gone. I thought point at best, thrown it away. But Willock's done it again. Twice come off the bench at home and scored almost instantly. Well, it's good that there's a role for him, even if he's not starting. But I would obviously like to see him start. But no, I wasn't confident. But I'm glad, as Karl said, I'm glad that there's too often just let the game go on and see out a point or whatever.
Questions for you, last though, all three. Man of the match for you.
SM was brilliant in the first half. Richie was brilliant as well. It's hard to pick. It's between one of them two, I think.
Willock maybe deserves it.
I don't think he was on long enough.
No,
not enough.
Yeah, I'd probably go with Maxi for what he was on, to be fair.
I think Richie had an excellent game today, like mental. I don't understand how he cannot be in the squad already for a long time. Of course, he had his bust up with Steve probably, but for you, Harry, who was your man of the match?
Yeah, ASM for me as well. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought he had them on strings in the first half.
Yeah, definitely.
Lads, we have a full waiting list of people who want to join in. So I think we have to switch over to the other one. Karl?
Yeah, we'll switch over to the next guest as well, and then we are gonna do a minute's silence, obviously at 3:00. So, but yeah, thank you very much to both of you for coming on. Great result. Hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, lads, and we'll see you next week.
Will do.
Cheers.
Take care. Is that your telly in the background, mate? It's really loud.
Oh yeah. Sorry. You bring the two guests in. I will turn it on. Give a sec.
Steve going mad still.
Alright, that should be fine.
Yeah, cool. We'll bring Steve.
Steve, my man, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Andrew?
Guys, all right?
What's going on?
You're all right? Where are you at, Andrew?
In the garden, mate.
Oh, just in the
Looks
garden.
nice and sunny, mate.
Costa del Beddleton.
Ah, love it.
Steve, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing that game was crazy. When people say Premier League's the most entertaining league in the world, sometimes I'm like, but then like games like this, the Tottenham Everton game yesterday, 2-2. I mean, we got 3 points. That's all I care. All I care about.
We saw you in the background cheering as crazy. Why? What did you do?
Oh, I'm watching the Wolfsburg and Bayern game.
Okay. And you like Bayern, of course.
Yes. Yeah. My Oma, German for grandma. She was from there. So.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Lars, obviously Wilson didn't start today. Would you done the same thing as Steve Bruce, not starting Wilson? Andrew?
No, I think he picked the right team. Saint-Maximin had the impact that he needed to have at the start of the game. It's just unfortunate that we're talking about him coming in for a couple of games, making an impact, and then possibly having an injury again. It's a frustrating cycle, isn't it, with him? But he just showed there that he's one of the best attacking midfielders in the league on his day.
So you wouldn't have made any change whatsoever?
No, I wouldn't. Sorry, do you mean for the start lineup today? Sorry.
Aye.
Yeah, I think the team is the right team to pick. We're back five, picked itself from last week. He brought in Saint-Maxi for Gale. Gale never really showed anything in the 2 games that he played, other than a couple of chances. I think it was the frustrating thing was that we waited too long to put Joe Willock on to have a positive effect on the game, rather than waiting until we're 2-2.
Mm-hmm. Would you also give that captain role to John Joe Shelby?
No. Richie, for me, I'm one of his biggest critics at the time, but I think he's made a massive difference since he's came into the team.
Right.
Whether it be not just the football that we're playing, but also helping others around him mentally. I think he's probably calmed Shelby down a little bit as well, in his ear. You can see it quite regularly. Every time Shelby looks like he's ready to dive in on someone, Richie's in his ear.
And you, Steve, would you give Shelby that role, or what is your opinion? And
I mean,
who would you give captain role?
Oh, sorry. No, what were you saying?
I say, if you think that Shelby's not the man for the job to be the captain, who else would you give it to?
Richie. I agree with him. Absolutely. Yeah. Richie. It has to be Richie. I mean, like, I believe he's featured the past 3 games. I don't think he was in the Brighton game. I don't know though. I kind of forget. But I mean, I just think Richie is fundamental to this team. There you have players in this team like ASM. We have some players in the team that have to pick up the slack essentially. I see Richie as the leader. I see ASM as like the catalyst. What's it called? Willock, I guess, is now a super sub. It worked out today, but I think he should be starting. But like other guys, it's just like.
Before we go to the 1 minute silence for who died, I forget his name actually. Sorry.
It's fine.
I know it's the Duke of Edinburgh, right? How would Fulham fans feel now at the moment? Do you think Fulham fans would accept now that they're probably get relegated?
Fulham's down.
We'll get back to it. We'll get back to it. When's the minute of silence? Sorry.
Oh, we literally about 30 seconds.
All right. We'll
come back to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
you
fine.
Want to put it on now?
No. I'll put it on at 3 o'clock, but I'll just ramble on. Obviously, great result. I know not everyone will agree with paying respects to Prince Philip, and not everyone will. But in the same breath, not everyone will agree that we're streaming while it's Prince Philip's funeral, which is absolutely understandable from both sides. But we are going to pay respect with a minute's silence very shortly, and then we'll be right back with you guys. So thank you very much for bearing with us, and we'll see you in a minute. If I'm muted, unmute.
We're back.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, appreciate everyone for joining in with that. But yeah, back to it. What were we talking about, Mr. Willow?
About Fulham.
Fulham
yes.
fans.
Because you wanted to touch up that you don't feel safe yet, that the fans of Fulham probably think that they're relegated.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. When we were up 2-0 going into halftime, understandably, a lot of people were kind of. I don't know if people were feeling like.
Is that you, Brandon?
What? I don't know what I. What's up?
You just hear noises.
I don't know. Anyways.
I think my name is laughing.
Yeah, must be.
I didn't hear it because of my earphones, but
Fair enough.
No, so here's the thing. We're up 2-0. We're all excited. We kind of like, 3 points in the back. I think the players have that mentality too, and I think their heads just it's like they assumed that they're just going to get the 3 points. We let West Ham back into this game. If we didn't pick up Willock and get that goal, it's only a point. Yeah, it's still a point gained, I guess. But here's the thing. That mentality, and I said that at halftime, I'm like, these players, and I said it in the last game, you cannot be complacent for 1 minute. Because, yeah, we got 3 points, but I don't know. If I was a Fulham player, if I was Scott Parker, I'd be like, look at these guys. They had it all going for them. They were 2-0 up. You know, they were bringing on Wilson, red card for West Ham. They had it all going for them. But we managed to screw it up for at least a little bit, and we had to get bailed out by Willock. So we can't, again, I'm going to say it again, we cannot be complacent because this kind of stuff, well, it might happen every week. Who knows? But it's seriously, you can't rely on this magical stuff because if we can have these magical moments, why can't Fulham? I mean, Fulham went to Liverpool and won. So again, we can. I think it's like, all right, we can feel a little safe, but the players and the manager Steve Bruce, you can't be complacent. You had a 10-point lead and you blew it. So put your head down, work hard, and
I think you hit the nail on the head, Steve.
Huh?
I think you hit the nail on the head. I think that can be what breaks us up, but I think we're just staying up just of individual quality. Andrew, what do you think on what Steve?
I think we've got to look at how many games we've played now. 32 games. Fulham have won 5, possibly 6 games all season. They need to win another 3 just to get level with us. And they've got 6 games left. I know saying Fulham relegated, I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but really we've got to look at it realistically and think, will we get a point against Sheffield United? Will we get 3 points against Sheffield United? You'd like to think so. So there's an extra 3 points.
Earlier in the year, though, that's the one thing. We didn't earlier in the year. We lost 1-0 to them, remember? So again, that's the whole complacency thing. Like, oh yeah, they might be down and out. Teams when they're down and out, they play like freestyle, like it doesn't matter. So again,
I think we've got to look at the circumstances at the time as well when we're playing Sheffield United. We had a lot of players missing. We just played a cup game. The pressure was really on Steve Bruce at the time, and I think the Richie situation was going on around about that time. Yeah. I think we're on a bit of a lift. We've won the last 2 games. We're unbeaten in 6, I think. So you've got to look at it and say we should be staying up now. If we don't, then you've really got to point a finger and say why.
It's a balance of what me and you are saying. Players can't be complacent. We as fans should feel pretty confident about staying up. There isn't really a reason why, but we're not the players on the field. We're not the manager, and they're the ones who control the destiny of this club, whether they stay in the Premier League or not. And Fulham are so, but
But is it fair again? Is it fair again that because we know our next 4 fixtures, they're going to be really tough? Is it fair to be negative about it, or can we just expect we lose all of them, and if you get a point somewhere here and there or a result, then it's great, obviously. But or do you think the negative will come back again if we lose those 4 games? Liverpool
getting beaten in the Champions League doesn't go in our favour because they're solely concentrating on the league now, really, aren't they? So that's not going to go in our favour. But really, are we expected to beat Liverpool at the best of times? possibly not. Our season's not going to be judged over the next 4 games. If we can pick up a point one of them 4 games, great. But it's not going to be based on beating Liverpool, beating Leicester, Man City, and who's the other game? Arsenal.
Arsenal.
So they're not the games that we're expected to beat. We're expected to compete in them games and try and pick up a point or sit back. We're going to sit behind the ball again. Hence why we're playing back 5 again.
Right. I think I want to thank you so much for your time. Also, Steve.
Thank you.
Steve, thank you so much for all the crazy donations and everything you did.
No problem.
I think I can speak on behalf of Karl and the whole Newcastle Fan TV crew as well for that. Don't spend all your money on us, but or you might be a secret millionaire. I don't know.
Yeah.
How's the little one, Karl? Good.
Pardon?
How's the little one?
Yeah, cooking along nicely, mate. Due on the 28th, so 28th of August. So it's coming around pretty quickly now, to be fair. Just want him here, mate. Just want him here.
Sorry, she's still pregnant, isn't she? Sorry, my apologies.
No, it's all right. It's I think because it's so embedded, like I'm literally, and we've got everything fine, like finished with all the scans and stuff. So I'm just like, I want him here now. It's just waiting. That's what it is.
Good.
So,
enjoy it.
Appreciate that, mate. I think I'll just live up on the sleep for the last 4 months, and then that'll be it.
I was going to say enjoy your sleep while you can get it.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thank you so much. We're gonna get our 2 next guests in. Thank you, guys. Shut up.
Take care, guys.
Thank you.
Take care, lads.
Take care.
Cheers.
I think it's now down to Connor and Daniel. Karl? Is that correct?
Yeah, we'll bring Connor and Daniel in.
They are next in line.
Good afternoon, both. How are we?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think it's a miracle I'm still alive, mate. The art can't take it much more.
Yeah, I feel exactly the same way, mate. I think everyone in the chat was feeling that, to be fair.
Connor, how did you?
Overwhelming sense of relief. I think probably everybody's feeling after the. I mean, you could not believe what you were watching in that second half. You know, you're 2-0 up at half time against a team who are down to 10 men. You could not have been in a better position. You couldn't have hoped. And I'm thinking, what did he say to the players at half time for them to come out playing like that? I mean, it was like Bruce Ball all over again. And you're thinking, and as soon as they got the first, like, they're getting it. Albeit, I do think the penalty was harsh. Although it hits his hand, I'm not entirely sure how he's supposed to get it. He's only doing what players do, which is he's jumping and he's using his hand for the elevation. So it's a bit harsh. But at the end of the day, when you allow that amount of pressure to get put on you, eventually it will tell when you're playing against players at West Ham do.
I just got a question for you two lads as well, because I didn't ask this to the other people who were on. But just thinking about it now, how do we rate Martin de Bravka's performance today? Daniel, to come to you as first.
He didn't have a lot to do, really, did he? If you think about it. I think he should have saved Diop's header, but apart from that, I mean, the penalties.
What I mean.
Yeah, the penalty. I mean, you couldn't say. I don't think you could have probably 2 keepers in there. He wouldn't have saved it. So, you know, what I mean, I think the only thing that I could say I was critical of, Diop's goal, and then obviously near the end when he nearly got tackled, like in the bloody around the penalty spot. I was thinking it'd just be our luck, wouldn't it, that he'd. You know what I mean? We'd concede like a stupid goal like that because, I mean, yeah. But I think he didn't do too bad. I mean, I think everybody there, maybe Shelby should be dropped, I think, next game. But I think everybody played well. So, yeah.
Connor?
I think the Bravka should have done better for Diop. When you see the replay, but you don't notice it in real time. You see the replay, but to get these side quicker than it did. I mean, that being said, Diop shouldn't have had a free header anyway. But apart from that, I wouldn't have said the Bravka really did much wrong. He certainly wasn't as bad as Wednesday. the way players in the park, I mean, obviously the second half was what it was, but I mean, I was impressed with Kieran Clark. I thought he had a really good game. I thought he was right to the
Almost
very
cost us
end.
the goal, though. He almost made an own goal.
He did. He done well
But besides that,
to avoid doing that, and right to the very end, even with massive cut back his head, he was still getting him in amongst it and clearing balls that were coming in. So I think he deserves some props because that's the kind of. I mean, it's the type of defending we shouldn't have had to be doing, but it is the type of defending you need to do. But I think man of the match wise, Matt Ritchie all day long. Matt Ritchie, his ball.
Yeah.
Daniel.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, we all say who's the best crosser in the club, and I would say Matt Ritchie is head and shoulders above everybody else. I'd probably say him. I mean, ASM and all that, they're not really renowned for their crossing. They're like kind of get the ball down to the ground and take it past them and kind of cut it back. They're not like an actual like crosser of the ball. I think you'd say Ritchie's the first one, and then I'd say even Murphy. Like I said, I think it's the goal against West Brom for Gale. I'd say. Yeah, I think Ritchie certainly, and I think he has to be made vice captain because he's got the passion. I'm not disputing Shelby hasn't got the passion or anything like that. He's just not a known leader.
Right. Joe Atkins, thank you so much for your donation. Is it $5 Australian? I don't really see another manager better than Bruce for next season. He lost up when you kept behind him, steady pair of hands. Carl, you want to respond to this?
No, I'll ask Connor to respond to that one.
Yeah, no. I can admire the optimism, but you only have to look at that second half performance to see exactly why Bruce needs to get out. Even during the second half, watching the game, listening to the commentators, Graham Jones was the one doing most of the actual shouting at the players. At one point, he was shouting at saint-maximin to close players down. Steve Bruce, I mean, yeah, he deserves credit for the way he's set us up the last couple of games. I don't deny that. But I do think we could get a better manager than Steve Bruce. Why couldn't we attract Frank Lampard, for talking's sake?
Especially against the likes of Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe kind of stalled his offer he got from Celtic, right? Because he said he would fancy the Newcastle job. What do you guys make from that?
I think he'd be better than Bruce, definitely. And obviously, the way that he plays his football, he's a bit like Keegan, wasn't he? He's kind of like, we'll just attack and score more than you. Obviously, I can't remember who it was. I think it was when he was at Bournemouth and they beat Chelsea 3-0 at Stamford Bridge. And I mean, yeah, Chelsea were terrible that game, but Bournemouth were, you know what I mean, just attack after attack after attack. And if they left themselves open, they left themselves open. I mean, obviously, I know since Bruce has changed it, so we're having like these like 13, 14 shots per game thing. Obviously, it's more attacking and it's better than what we had at the start of the season. But I think with Eddie Howe, I think it would be not half a season of playing crap and half a season and playing full attacking football. It would be like attack from minute 1 to 95th minute of the last game. So I'd take him, definitely. I'd take anybody else but Bruce. Everybody else would, you know what I mean?
I know, Carl, your favorite to sign for as a manager job is Steve VG. But how would you feel about Eddie Howe? Do you agree with Daniel?
I'd take anyone over Steve Bruce. I know there's people that would, and that's not me being a dickhead. It's just that he's statistically has the worst win percentage of any Premier League manager in all time. Like, that is enough for me. That's enough. Like, and I'm with Connor. Like, he's absolutely he's done really, and I agree. I've been exactly the same with the way he's set us up over the last 3 weeks. It's worked, and we've been a much better side. I agree.
He does deserve credit. He does deserve
100%.
credit. Like I said, against Burnley, like I said, he brought ASM on and Wilson on early because he knew how important that game was. And like today, the first half, basically the way West Ham set up, what was it, 3 at the back and the wing backs, he basically just mirrored them. And the fact that we had ASM playing, he is just like the diamond in the team. and you know what I mean, he shone bright in the first half more than anybody.
Absolutely.
I think it's that video that Lee put up the other day. Like, was it ASN the difference for us staying up and going down? And you just saw in the first half he was on it from the first minute. So he's right again.
I agree, and a lot of fans were kind of bashing Bruce last week with regards to the substitutions he made because, you know, they're obvious substitutions, but we all forget that he wasn't making those substitutions throughout the majority of the season. He hasn't done that, and he started to do that over the last 3 weeks, and it's benefited us. So I agree. Like, I'll give him credit where it's due, but when it comes to other managers, I would take most people over Steve Bruce, definitely.
I have to say as well, though, Karl, like because we mentioned on the watch along that like if it's 3-0 up, you don't bring Wilson anymore. We kind of agree on that, right? But he saw that we were giving too much away. We were sitting too deep, and then he brought Wilson on. And when he brought Wilson on, well, we know how it went. It went to 2-2. But when he was on Wilson, we were such more of a threat. So I think he brought Wilson 63 minutes or something. I think it was a good timed substitute, actually. Like you guys saying, credit where credit is due. Just another question I want to go up as well. That tackle of Joe Linton from Dawson, was it a straight red card, guys? Corner?
That's that then kind of lagged out. What was the question?
Oh, I said that tackle from Dawson on Joe Linton, was that a straight red card?
Yeah, I think it certainly. I think it was, because it comes down to, I think, the fact that he doesn't appear to me anyway to be fully in control of himself when he does it.
Did everyone just lag out then?
Yeah, I think everybody just lagged out completely.
I think that was StreamYard itself. So apologies to everyone.
What the hell?
Yeah, StreamYard's done that. I don't know what happened there.
Cheers. At least he didn't close the whole stream though. Like the point I wanted to make though, where it was going with the tackle on Joe Linton from Dawson. How good was that refereeing? Because he could have easily blown his whistle and give that Dawson a red card, but because of this, we came 1-0 up.
It's good refereeing, you know, something you don't see enough of. I think it'd be too easy there to go, well, it's going to be a red card, so you've got to immediately pull the player. But we were clearly away, you know, saint-maximin was in. There was no real reason to stop it. Sometimes that's what you've got to do. When you look at West Ham's penalty, it took about 2 minutes before that was awarded as well. So, and I wonder if it was maybe partially that VAR maybe had a word in his ear as well. They say, look, let the play continue, because ultimately, if there was a mistake, they would just pull it back anyway. So, no, I think he got it absolutely spot on that occasion. And I think Dawson was stupid. If you're on a booking, don't make that challenge. Because if that was a Newcastle defender, we would all have been on here absolutely fuming that they've been so naive.
Okay, lads. I think we have to go on to the next guest. I want to thank your time for coming on the Fenrex show. Definitely come back on next week. Do you want to ask him still something, Karl, or do you want to crack on to the next guest?
Just very, very quickly, boys. Yes or no? I'll come to you first. Connor, do you think we're safe now?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's done it. 9 points, game in hand. You can't see Fulham getting 3 points against Arsenal tomorrow. So I think we're okay now.
Perfect. And yourself, Daniel?
Yeah, I think we are, mate. You think about who Fulham have got. Was it Man United, Leicester, and whoever? I can't see them beating all of them and all the other 3 games personally. So I think we're safe. But I'll leave you on something. If you're somebody who bet for Joe Linton to score in 2 consecutive home games, come and see me because I've now just won about 400 quid. So I'll leave you on that.
Nice. Well, enjoy. Hopefully it's sunny where you both are, and get yourselves out and have a few beers, and we'll speak to you next week, lads.
Take it easy, guys.
Shout out.
Cheers later. Bye bye.
Carl, I think we're going on a little bit of an international tour. We got Paul from Toon Down Under, and we got Jay in all the way from Atlanta, right?
Absolutely. We'll bring them in, mate. We'll bring them in.
How are you guys doing, lads?
Hey, lads.
Paul, it's a pleasure to see you not so dark this time. It's the first time we can see you properly, man.
Yeah.
Jay, sorry, what you were saying? Sorry for cutting you off.
Oh, no, I cut you off. Good result. Unexpected result. Some comments on chat on whether we deserve it or not. I don't know, but we're in a position we'll take any wins that we can get, right? We're not above taking points in an ugly or lucky manner.
Yeah. And to you, Paul, what do you feel about the game in general?
Very good. Very happy and very angry at the same time, to be honest. The way that we show all of us fans, we know that Bruce is just terrible. Why isn't he changing it? Like, why isn't he giving that message out to the boys to go for the game? Why are we letting them have the ball? Why is that happening? We're very lucky, but we are. Willock with the great header. Bit disappointed, but we don't want to be too negative. We want to be happy. We're not clear. And, I'm sure Jay, you, mate, Steve Bruce is terrible.
Yeah. So, Jay, how confident? I wanted to ask you, how confident were you after that equalizer that we would still get 3 points here?
I'm a veteran Newcastle supporter, so I was not confident that we would go. I mean, of course, I always want that to happen, but now is not a time to be hopeful for us. But any good thing that's going to happen to our team is going to come from our players, in spite of any instructions from Steve Bruce, right? And that is possible. We do have good enough players to beat teams. I wouldn't expect us to regularly be the top 4 near top 4 side. That just isn't to be expected. But when we let people like Wilson on the field, or Willock, or even Miggy when he has a good games, token favorite player comment there, we have the players to win games. So I'm not totally unsurprised that some miraculous win didn't happen. I just would have to say that I wouldn't expect that on a regular basis.
So yeah, I had to close my window because children of my neighbors are playing on the balcony. I've seen some comments that people are complaining. My apologies for that. I hope it's better now. I missed what you were saying, Jay. So can you take over, Carl? For
just assume it was really smart, Brandon. That's what you should assume.
To be fair, Brandon, like you've supported Newcastle long enough. You could probably guess what it was. But yeah, I was exactly the same. When it got to 2-2, I was like, there was no way that we're coming out with a result now. Unfortunately, like there's no other way. This is just going to be a loss. That it is what it is, and just accept it. But yeah, Joe Willock coming on, doing what he seems to do best. Super sub off the bench, absolutely deserves to start. But then when it works, I don't know. Do you think we've got to drop John Joe Shelvey now? What are your thoughts on that, Paul?
Yeah. Shelvey, I don't think he's captain material. Like if one of us were captain of Newcastle United Football Club, in that second half, we'd be screaming at our mate. We'd be telling them, get up, let's take a hold of this game, boys. Like Shelvey just goes missing, and you can tell he's not playing for the shirt.
Yeah.
Willock when he came on, mate, just running around. Menace, like Richie puts in that ball, he's in there. I know that they're different players. I know Shelvey is a totally different player. But Matt Ritchie should, like someone said in the before vice captain, he has the graft, the passion, whereas like you can tell when he set up that goal last week and he did the header, the double header, and he's passing. I'm not sorry. He should be so much better. I know how you say in your videos, mate, that you're an advocate. And
I think
go, Brendan.
I think I want to make a bold statement. I think Joe Willock has more heart for the club already than Junior Shelby has, and he's just so short with us. I mean, if you see the situations Joe Willock gets, and then of course it's different players, but I mean, in Joe Willock you see some fight, and with Joe, it barely not. He used to when he made those stupid fouls sometimes, but now it's just a little bit bland. Is that the right word to say?
Look at Murphy when he scored that goal, ran over, just kissing the back.
Yeah.
Just the passion, mate. Shelby just isn't showing anything. Just really getting a great wage, and just not performing as easy.
Sorry, I was just reading this comment. I thought it was very apt and actually relatively funny. Fair play. I don't know if that's Lee or Sam, to be fair.
I think it's Sam, actually. But.
Can I just say, I thought Steve earlier made a really great point about the attitudes of our players.
Yeah.
Good teams win ugly because you have to do that from time to time. But another thing that good teams, which we are not right now, do is they put people down when they are ahead with no mercy, no let up, and no stop. This is a sport. It is judged by who wins. Now, how cool you look or how nice you are or how noble you are on the pitch, we like all those things. But the truth is it's about winning. And when you are up 2-0 against 10 men, you put them down. And we don't have that mentality across our entire team. You were talking about Shelby there, Paul, and maybe he's not playing for the badge. I think this is a different kind of thing. And Miggy, being one of my favorite players, I'm always coming back to him, but he doesn't have that lethal killer attitude. He has a lot of other great things, but I think that goes to a lot of the rest of our team that is not playing in a way that says, we're up, we're going to make you look stupid now, not settle back or play some kind of preventive loss thing. And I think that just shows we have a lot of players on our team that need to be coached up to that level. Coaches say the things that make players, it's in their heart, of course, but coaches bring that out. And currently, I don't think we have a coach that is capable of instilling that level of aggression and lethality in our players.
I was just going to say, because we definitely don't have that at the club. Do you think, although Miggy, he wouldn't hurt anyone, let's be honest, but I think in the right environment, would you argue that when he's playing for Paraguay and when he was in that Atlanta side, with some of the people that he had around with him, like Martinez, who looks like someone who does have the killer instinct, for example, and had those players around him, that attitude will brush onto him automatically and he'll show it in a different way. But we don't have that at all in Newcastle. Do you think it stems from the culture at the club, mate?
Yes.
Yeah.
Newcastle is too hard for everybody right now. It's too hard for the manager, it's too hard for the players, and it's certainly too damn hard for us. And it is that way because of the culture of the club, which stems back to Charnley and Ashley as owners. They want out. We want them gone. It will not be different until they are gone.
Yeah.
You guys, I'm getting upset now. We had a win. I've talked myself into being freaking angry. That's not healthy.
Apologies. I'm trying to think of some positives. Do you think we're staying up? Do you think we've done enough to secure Premier League status again for another season, Jay, before I go over to Paul?
Yes, I do. I've got my little spreadsheet open that I've had open for 2 months now. And yes, I had us on 34 to stay up a few weeks ago, which is a remarkably low number. We're on 35 now, right? So I think that's good. I don't think Fulham's going to go on a run. We have good teams and some weak teams. They have good teams and weak teams. I think we're going to stay up now. I believe that to be true at this time.
Because Jay is a data analyst, and we know he likes the numbers. And I feel safe if Jay says we are safe. I feel safe enough to say so as well, because he got his shit figured out.
Sometimes. Actually, I got to give credit to Ginger, who never gave up, right, even a month ago, right? So what do you think, Paul? Are we staying up?
You're the stats man, mate. I trust you. I do.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Fulham just have the wins. They don't have the wins in them. They got some hard fixtures. If we play the way that we played to be fair, we played good in the first half, and in the last maybe a month and a half ago, couldn't get a shot on fucking target. Like, and now we're putting 10 average in the last couple of games. So we're staying. We're good.
Where do you think? Do you think that anyone else is going to get dragged into it, or do you think that it will be Fulham and West Brom going down?
Yeah,
we'll come to yourself first, Paul. Yeah.
Sorry, mate. Yeah, I was just looking at the table, and yeah, we're just above 2 other clubs now, and I still believe Fulham, like, they just got a hard run. They can't win games. I think they're going down, mate. And
Yeah.
and I'll, to be honest, like, play football, with a Fulham supporter, and I've got a case on it, so I want him to go down.
Nice.
We talk, and he, because to be honest, I don't really just watch Newcastle and watch the highlights and that, but he watches Fulham's games, and he's a crazy fan like all of us. Like,
yeah,
and he just said that they're not cut out for it. They're going down. So I believe it's going to go.
Fair enough.
Jay, question for you. I know you have a friend who is a Fulham fan.
Yep.
Have you been able to talk to him already?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He still thinks there's a chance. He got crushed last week, of course. I told him that I think that if they're going to get anybody, they're going to get Burnley at this point. And I kind of thought that 6-8 weeks ago. I don't think they're going to run, because we're in direct competition. I don't think they're going to drag us within 3 points of the last game. I just do not think that's going to happen. If there's a reason we're all down here, right? I believe we're down here not because of our players, but because of our coaching for the year. That's why we're down here in this mess. But there's a reason that everybody else is down here as well too. And I always thought, to a certain extent, Burnley could get drug into it. Their schedule is kind of medium for the rest of the year, and I just think it's possible that if Fulham goes on a run and Burnley tanks it, that is who it is mathematically possible to get drug into it.
Do you think Sam Allardyce has got enough about him to pull off the great escape again with West Brom?
No, I don't have any faith in dinosaurs. Right, and I don't want that. We've had them all. We've had almost all. We're only missing like one, aren't we? Like we've had the whole run of the lot.
I think out of the bottom half, there's probably only a couple that we haven't had. To be fair,
yeah.
Yeah, it's a frustrating one. Jay, come to yourself first. Man of the match for you, mate.
It's got to be Willock. I know that's ridiculous.
Okay.
And you can't pick a man of the match on the last few minutes of the game, but the truth is, we don't win without him. We're done here, right? That's where I'm at.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's what it is, right? It's the game winner, so yeah, you can make a very good case for him being man of the match.
Fair enough. Yeah, got no argument against that, Paul.
It's a tough one. It's got to be ASM or Matt Ritchie. Probably ASM. He just, when he's in the team, we win. He just gets the ball, drives hard, just creates. I know I had a couple of the boys comment before that his shots weren't on point, which is fair enough. And he was lucky. Like, he had the right intentions. You can tell that the first goal, his angle on that, he was trying to push it past the keeper. We got lucky. Murder at the dance floor, if you will. just keeps running. He's just a threat. Like, as I said in the last couple of videos,
Absolutely.
He's just a great player. And Richie, like, he grinded. He had a great battle, as he was saying. I think Sam was saying in the pre video, he had a really good battle, and another assist, another great cross. Like, just it's probably ASM though for me. And and Willock was fantastic. And if he was on the pitch a little bit longer, I'd be probably siding with you, mate.
Just a real quick question for you, both lads. Because we saw ASM going up with a knock. Does it look serious for you guys? Jay?
Jay, you go.
Or Paul? Sorry.
I didn't think so. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Paul.
Well, you've seen him go down a couple of times. he was limping. I guess he was running. He had 60 something minutes.
It was probably from that knock he got from Kuva, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I hope not. But I think he'll rest and he'll be fine. Or he has to for us. So,
Jay?
I would just say that ASM is a mercurial player, both in skill and attitude. And if he wants to get out there, I'm confident that he's the best player on our team with one leg, if he wants to. And I think he does. I think we saw some months where numerous players were just pissed at our club and didn't want to show up. I don't think that's where we are right now. And I also think that Saint-Maximin, I still love him, I say that all the time, I think he's playing for a contract somewhere else, and I don't blame him, right? I do not blame him. I think he is trying to look good while he can. I don't want him to go, but I think we have to look at that kind of reality. And so I think he's motivated to do well. And unless he is truly hobbled, I don't think it's that bad, Brandon.
So I was going to ask you, it's interesting you say that, Jack. So my exact line of questioning was, do you think that Maximin is playing the way he is because he wants a new contract and the Euros are coming up? Because that is the only reason for me. Because let's be honest, there was a time where he wasn't unfit and he was pissed off at the club clearly, and he wasn't playing well at all. And I was going to ask what's changed, but I think you hit the nail on the head, because that was my thinking as well, that he's clearly playing for another contract elsewhere, and I absolutely agree. I don't want him to go, but it is what it is. He does deserve better than Newcastle United, unfortunately. I hate saying that, but he does.
Yeah, but I think I want to make a statement as well. Like, maybe we should sell him, because he's injured quite a lot. So if you can sell him for 40, 50 million, why not?
I don't know about
because
that.
He's pretty injury prone.
I don't know about that, Brandon. That's going a bit far for me.
We typically underperform on selling of our better players and doing something useful with it. Like, I remember we sold Andy Carroll for 30, whatever it was. Like, I was over the moon back in the day over that. But we didn't. I mean, we did some okay things with it, but I don't trust us to spend money well. I just want to say that if Saint-Maximin is playing for himself his next contract, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Football is past the glory days of where people play forever, and that's just not the sport anymore. We need to get with the program, and it is about extracting value on the pitch from the players that we have. And if they want to, I don't care why they play well. Just play well. Right? I don't care what your motivation is. Just play well for us while you're here. We're going to pay you. You play. You put the ball in the net or your position or defend. That's the contract we're looking for. So I'll take anyone playing well for us for any reason. Sure, I'd love a romantic fairy tale of somebody, coming back to their hometown, sheet metal worker's son. That's a great story, but that ain't the common story. So in the meantime, I'll just take you putting a performance in on the pitch.
I agree 100%, mate. Couldn't put it better myself.
I think we can chat to you guys all day. Sorry, Paul, can you say that again?
Sorry, mate. If we kept Saint-Maxi and we recruit, we get some midfielders, because that's what we need. We need some we get 20 million, 25 million midfielder, Premier League experience. Get a couple more people for the strength of the bench. We're a top 10 team. If we can with
the right manager, though.
Exactly. Get a proper manager, maybe Rafa or whatever. We build more around what we've got. We're not in this relegation now.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be actually challenging, and we'll have a run at West Ham. They got Lingard, and look at them. We get someone in the midfield to do the hard grinding. We play different brand of football. We're not in this mess anymore. So I think my opinion is we have to keep Maxi as happy as possible and keep him at the club, and then build players around him, and we won't have to go through this Newcastle United shit we've been going through for years.
I agree.
Totally agree. I know you're trying to ship us off, but the frustrating thing is we are that close to being that good. On top of the league. That, if you're a Newcastle fan, that should piss you off. Right? That should really frustrate you, because we are not morons at the bottom of the league. We are a solid mid-table side on talent. With just a few extra pieces bolt on what we have, we could consistently be in the top 10. Perhaps not Europe, but top 10. And that's frustrating.
All around us, mate, their bench. We don't have a bench.
Yeah.
Like we risk it on game by playing. We risk the next couple of games. If we had someone like them on the, or not them, but we had some quality on the bench. Like you bring in someone, you put Murphy on the bench. He's an impact player. Bring him on 20 minutes ago. Bring on those guys like the old Townsend and all those sort of flair players. Like we had someone a little bit more depth, and we're not in this relegation mess.
Yep.
Lars, thank you so much. Anyway, we have a few more people wanted to come on the show. I can talk to you all day. I think I speak for Karl as well. Thank you for being on the show. Have a good one. Enjoy the win. And
good job.
hope to see you guys next week.
See you, mate.
Absolutely.
Well, cheers. Cheers.
See you later, guys.
Cheers.
Take care.
Take care. That is gonna take us to the other one. We got Dion
and Dylan.
All right.
Yeah. Dylan.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry, mate. Karl, can you quickly come up?
All right.
Do it. I need to go to the toilet real quick.
Yeah, that's fine, mate. Can you just put us on mute while you go to the toilet? This time?
Yeah, I will.
Cool. Dion, coming to yourself, mate.
Yeah.
Give me your rundown of the game today.
Well, good first half. West Ham were, I don't know what they were doing first half. They were asleep. But we managed to capitalize on their mistakes. And I guess before you even ask, for me, man of the match today is got to be saint-maximin just for his first half performance, because I think there must have been 4 or 5 times where he was running through. And he got a bit lucky for the goal he scored, but at the same time, it was brilliant. It was one of the best goals I think that we've scored this season. So yeah, first half really good. I was pretty happy with the lineup at the start. I mean, it's not an ideal defense, but it's the best that we've got at the moment. What with injuries, but the second half, like fucking hell, I was thinking, I really didn't enjoy it at all. Like,
no, mate.
We're 2 goals up, playing against 10 men, and we're under the cosh. And I was thinking, what's going on here? I mean, true. West Ham did sort of. They were a different proposition, and they came out fighting in the second half. But at the same time, to have less possession and to be playing on the counter attack when you're playing against 10 men and you're leading by 2 goals is not good enough for me.
But, no, I agree.
Yeah.
Coming to yourself, Dylan, after what Diane said there, literally on that point, because he's right with regards to West Ham coming out fighting. Do you think we've allowed them to do that as well?
Oh, definitely. That was the epitome of Bruce changing something, fixing something that didn't have to be broken. Because that first half, although we kind of didn't have the ball, or they had more of the ball, we were the more dangerous team and deserved the 2-0 lead. But then for that first 40-odd minute, or about 35 minutes in the second half, oh, gee, I couldn't even watch. Like, I put a comment during the stream on there that it was good to actually be comfortable against the team kind of at the top, and I had to jinx that, of course, but
yes, I
at least we got the win in the end.
Yeah. Obviously, Diane said ASM, and I was of the same thought process as well. What about yourself, mate? Who do you think was man of the match today?
Maximin, definitely. Because West Ham, they were backing off him the whole time. Like, they were frightened to get near him, because a little nutmeg like that, which he's so capable of, and all of a sudden they could have conceded another, and he just absolutely ripped them to shreds. He's just a fucking phenomenal player. Like,
yeah.
Do you think myself and Jay have just spoke about it previously? Obviously, you'd have heard. Do you agree? Do you think that ASM's playing the way he is because he's probably looking for a new contract elsewhere?
I'm not sure about that, to be honest. I mean, it's very possible that he is looking for a new contract. But I also think that there's been a general uplift in the team in the last few weeks. And I think Maximin just likes playing his football. To be honest, I think any game where he feels like he can make a difference. I mean, he has off games, obviously, and that's true for all sort of luxury players that are skillful like him. I mean, even your top players have off games. But I think he just when he's feeling it on the day, it doesn't matter. Like, he plays for himself.
Okay, that's fair. That's a fair point, mate. What is it then that you think's what's changed in the last 3-4 weeks?
I personally think it's just a change in the personnel more than anything. I think having Matt Ritchie back, and having ASM back, and having Callum Wilson back. I know he's only coming on as a sub at the moment, but it still makes a massive difference to the team. Just two or three of your best players. Matt Ritchie, I think, especially makes a difference in terms of the general attitude and the work ethic. So I agree with some of the people who've said previously that he should be the captain of the team.
Yeah,
definitely.
Like, even though he's not a player that's like, he's not one of the most technically gifted or one of the best players at the club, he leads by example.
I think he's one that we've all said that, like, from day one, that he's probably the only player that we've got in the side, other than maybe Andy Carroll off the pitch, who has that seniority and that kind of air about them. Do you know what I mean? That will tell people how it is. So I absolutely agree. Like, we need more of that. 100%. I do think he's made a significant part to those changes that we've had over the last 3 weeks. How much? I'll come over to yourself, Dylan, because I know it's difficult for us all to do it at times, but I think he does deserve it, and I think we should give it him. How much credit does Bruce deserve from yourself over the last few weeks?
It hurts to say it already.
Just take a deep breath, mate, and just forget who you're talking about.
Of course he deserves credit, because the form doesn't lie. It's 1 loss and 7 now, which we would have taken that at the start of those run of games. But today, excuse me, he started with the right intentions, but then went back to his old fucking way. Like, West Ham did not look like scoring at all until we dropped back and sat back and literally let them attack at will. Had we stuck with the same way of playing, they wouldn't have scored twice. They might have nicked 1 goal, but they wouldn't have scored twice. So that's kind of his deficiency. There are a lot of facets where he has improved the team. And look, I'll be the first to admit it, me praising Bruce is the last thing I would have expected or wanted to do. But he has got it right in a few places like that. But no, the second half, I know we got the win in the end, and we were fortunate to do that. And especially with them being down to 10 men, they were there to be shot at. So there's still a lot kind of to look at him and think, like, he didn't do that right, like.
Okay, that yeah, fair point. So come over to yourself, Diane. Let's say Willock doesn't score the winner. Everything else happens exactly as it did throughout the game. Just Willock doesn't score the winner. It finishes 2-2.
Yeah.
What do you make of Steve Bruce's performance?
I think you have to criticize him for the way that the team came out in the second half. But at the end of the day, like, Willock did score, and he did make the decision to put him on. So I think you have to. I would give him some credit for the starting lineup, just sticking with the same team pretty much as last game, and also his substitutions in recent games have paid off. So it's hard to criticize him on that front. So I'm kind of ambivalent, to be honest, about Bruce over this game. I'm really happy that we won the game, obviously, but I think partly we were lucky, and partly it comes down to West Ham having been so poor in the first half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair enough, mate. That's fair enough. Come to yourself first, and I'll come over to Dylan. As I've asked everyone the same question. We getting relegated, yes or no?
No.
Diane?
No, I don't think so. I think we're all right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And coming back to both of you, who do you think is going to go down? Do you think it's going to be Fulham, or do you think Burnley or someone might get dragged into it?
I think that goal they conceded late on against Wolves was a hammer blow to Fulham, and Burnley will finish above Burnley definitely, and they might be dragged into it. But I think that for Fulham, they've lost their last 4, and I think that's going to catch up to them now. So yeah, it'll be the bottom 3 as it is.
Okay. And yourself, Diane, you feel the same?
Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, I think the only team really that's got a chance, because they've got a little bit of momentum at the moment, is West Brom. But even for them, that kind of requires like an almost heroic comeback, like on the level that Leicester did the season before they won the league. So I think it's still going to be the bottom 3 as it is.
I'm telling you now, if West Brom can pull this off, right? We are now at 35 points. They are at 24, 11 points with 6 games left. If Sam Allardyce gets this right, that will be mental, really.
They've done it before, mate. West Brom have done it before.
Yeah.
Well,
but it won't be us is the thing. If they do stay up, it will be either Brighton or who was it? Who else?
Burnley.
Burnley, possibly.
Burnley.
I feel the same way. I think that with, Touchwood, I do think we're safe, and I genuinely got a feeling that West Brom could pull it off again and drag someone into it. I do. What else?
I don't think it will be us anymore, though. I don't think it will be us anymore. No.
Yeah, that's what irks me, because we've such a better squad than Burnley, and the fact we're only 2 points above them, it's actually eating at me, because we should not be in this position at all. And Bruce will have his plaudits and have Gabby Agbonlahor lick his ball sack and all that, but
fuck Gabby Agbonlahor, mate, isn't it?
Oh, don't start. But no, like, we should not have been in this position at all, and that's down to Bruce. So we could finish 11th now, and I still won't really forgive Bruce for the position we're in. So
yeah,
that's kind of where I'd stand with that. If anyone ever questioned if I'd ever turn back to Bruce or not, but that'll definitely be a no.
Finally,
I mean,
no, carry on, mate. Sorry,
just for any sort of Newcastle fans that have flip-flopped on Bruce, and this is something that I really don't like about football fans in general, is how quickly they can sort of vacillate or flip-flop in terms of opinions for managers. But I think you have to take the whole season into consideration and look at how many points we have with respect to how many games we have. And at the end of the season, realistically, we're not going to finish with 45 points. We'll probably finish with fewer than 45 points, which when you look at that, it's not a great season, is it? It's kind of average or below average for what we,
and especially with the squad we have.
It's below average.
But it is an underrated squad, I think.
That's what I'm saying. Like, with the right manager, you get so much more potential with this. Like, maybe we need to fix some positions. Like, for example, right back, we can improve on a little bit. And like you guys are saying as well, Jonjo Shelvey need to be replaced, or at least have a good other option for him.
What did you have anything to finish on that point, Diane? Sorry, mate.
Nothing else for that point, though. But I also, just before we finish, you're probably going to kick us off in a minute. I just want to give a shout out to Hartlepool United, because they won today. They were playing at the same time as Newcastle, and they won 7-2. So they're my other team. So
fair enough.
Good afternoon for football for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I
celebratory drink?
Big shout out to Sunderland for capitulating again as well.
I was about to say that, man. I was about to say that. I wanted to add this to the list. Can we make a shout out to
We're finding form and Sunderland bottling it again. I fucking love it.
Who were they playing? What was the score of that game?
Blackpool.
That's the Blackpool 1-0. 3 losses on the spin, I think, now.
Right.
You love to say
down the Meccans. What a Saturday!
What a Saturday afternoon it's been, lads. I fucking love it.
I suppose Middlesbrough lost as well. I don't know if they're too relevant in our East rivalry, but
Absolutely. I think
it's
my brother's missus is a Borough fan. I'm going around there for a barbecue in a minute, so I can't wait. Can't wait. So we're giving them all the stick. But yeah, lads, absolute legends. Appreciate having you both on again. We'll see you next week. Enjoy the rest of your
Thanks
weekend.
for having us on.
Good, lads.
Take care, boys.
So we have one person left. Go. He has been waiting for a while. So Andy, my apologies for waiting so long.
Yeah, no,
Thank you for staying on and being patient. What did you make of the game?
I think we were. I'm really happy we won, and I think we're going to stay up now. But I think we were like very lucky with the circumstances. Yeah, we got a red card, an own goal, the goalie error, and we were awful in the second half. But you know, we have to take this when we get it. I mean, Joe Linton scoring 2 home games in a row.
What is that all about?
I mean, I've got to say, I think that Maxim, if he had some really, he's just too good. He's just a brilliant footballer. It's so frustrating, his injury issues, but if he's the difference between us being a top 10 side, really, a mid-table side, and being relegation fodder, because he's changed everything. Because we have an outball, we have someone who stretches defenses and can go past people. Like you can see, once he got knackered, we dropped off because we didn't have him to pass to carry the ball. I just think he's it's funny. I loved Hatem Ben Arfa, but I think he's gone above Hatem Ben Arfa. He's still below Ginola and Robert, but he's probably gone above Hatem Ben Arfa now.
I was going to ask you, Andy, do you think he's gone above Hatem Ben Arfa because he seems like he's got a much better attitude, possibly?
You see, I had this Ben Arfa attitude thing. I always think it was like people saying, "Oh, he has a bad attitude. That's why Pardew, dropped him." But he was getting dropped at the time for Gabriel Obertan. So
that's a fair point.
I think he was always a bit unfair. But I think I don't know. I think at the moment, I think he would have big clubs looking at him. But I think his injury problems might put them off because I think he's been only fit for like 20 games this season. So that might be something that means we keep him. But I think Ben Arfa is probably, would score, dribble past 2-3. But I think saint-maximin carries the ball better.
Yeah, I know.
He's still a little bit behind Robert and Ginola in terms of crossing and overall output, though, I think.
Well, it's hard to beat Ginola and Robert as well, I think.
Yeah.
It's not really fair.
I think it's at the time, I do think back, at times I used to get frustrated with Robert, and now I just think, oh my God, if we had Laurent Robert,
I agree. I agree. There's so many times where I used to look back and I was like, what the bloody hell is he doing? Every time I look back at highlights and stuff now, he was an absolute hero, wasn't he? Absolute hero.
We rarely score free kicks. He would score free kicks regularly. The one against Liverpool in the UEFA Cup. Things. It's like I said, it's things we take for granted now because obviously
that's maybe as well. We're not that dangerous in set pieces, corners, free kicks, whatever. Shelby used to do it in the Championship, but or Richie, but even Sean Longstaff is taking free kicks now. I mean,
yeah.
No, I know. I think Shelby's. He was so good in the Championship at free, and Richie as well. But like you said, they've really dropped off. I mean, I can't remember the last time we. I think Jacob Murphy's won against Wolves, and that's it, really.
Yeah.
But I think with Steve Bruce, I think with Steve Bruce, he deserves a little bit of credit, but. Once fans are back in, it's going to be untenable for him. So I think it looks like we're going to stay up now. They should just let him go and get someone else in at the end. To be fair, he's got at the time I was saying he's worse than McLaren, but actually he's done better than McLaren did because McLaren had some good players and the 2016 team was better than this team in my opinion.
I will give Steve Bruce an advice. Yeah, if we stay up, and we probably most likely to do now. After this season, we give him a fair handshake. You kept us up.
Yeah.
No hard feelings anymore. Just let's forget about this season. But now it's time to move on. And then
Yeah,
step
'cause
down
if
if you're
he
really a Newcastle.
stays-
If you're really a Newcastle fan, step down. If you love the club, let someone else there get in and get us higher than we deserve at least.
Because if he stays and we start badly next season, it's just going to all start again. Like
Yeah.
it's just going to be exactly the same, and it's going to be like toxic again. And yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, we do have some good players, but there's still players in our squad who like we need to get rid of really. But I mean, the central midfield still is a huge issue. I thought Longstaff and Shelby were really good in the first half in terms of pressing, but then they just disappeared in the second half. Like Joe Willock, thankfully, scored. I mean, the game was very similar to the Southampton game, wasn't it? Like in the way the game went in the end.
Yeah,
You
it was
guys
just
agree with this
he's
statement?
saving the day, isn't he, again?
Yeah, I don't know if Arsenal will let him go though. I think, and I don't know if we could afford him, to be honest, because he's.
Andy,
I
what
was
do you
gonna
make
ask
of
how
this?
Sorry, Brandon,
Carl.
carry on.
No. Just I was just asking about this stat actually, because Ryan Sweeney is saying ASM is massively overrated. 6 goals
No
in 2
way.
seasons, 86 in 2 seasons.
No, it's there's things that you can base on stats and there's things you can't. Like Andy made a great point earlier. The way the guy carries the ball, he brings the energy to the side. I'm not having that he's overrated. That's nonsense.
Its stats say one thing. Eye test. You can see the difference in the team when we have Fraser or Fraser or Joe Linton wide. There's no comparison to when saint-maximin wide. You can see the opposite team as well is scared. They're backing off him constantly. Like West Ham have, they've been in Champions League contention. They were clearly like fearful of him. You don't get that when Almiron's out wide or Joe Linton's out wide. They're not. No one cares. We sit back. We're more deep. But when we've got saint-maximin, we've got someone who can stretch the team. But I think for Joe Linton, he scored again today, which is good. But I just don't see him long term be staying. I don't know.
Yeah, Ryan, I understand what you're saying, but come on, mate. He's had more of an influence on the side than you're giving him credit for. I do apologise, though. We've got to wrap it up because we've run over a little bit. We've got scoring the players coming up right now. As you can see, Sam has come in and changed the banner to let me know that I'm late, so I do apologise.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you very much for coming on, Andy. We'll see you next week, mate. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Take care, mate.
Cheers,
Bye-bye.
Andy. Just to make a case for us, though, it was busy in the waiting room, though. We had loads of people who wanted to come on, so.
And there was 8 minutes of injury time. So yeah, just saying, Sam.
As well.
But yeah, coming straight up for the scoring the players is myself and Sam. Thank you everyone for dropping by. If you haven't already, please drop a like, share, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, what a great afternoon. Take care. See you in the next one. Bye bye.